So today I'm gonna talk about tree propagation. And tree propagation is really a big subject, and I'll maybe only give you a little introduction really into the whole subject. I myself, I have propagated hundreds and hundreds of trees by seed, grafting and budding, and also layering. And so now for the grafting and budding, that will be in a different video, but now I'm just gonna go into sowing seeds, sowing trees with the seeds. And when we think of like stone fruit, there are some stone fruit, they will propagate by seed, like for example black boy peach or golden queen peach, but many others will as well, and some may create new varieties as well. And but often if you like to have a particular peach, then it's best to have actually a grafted tree. And peach seeds, they can be dried and then sown in towards spring, and they will start to come up when they are ready to grow, once they have enough water accumulated. And I have also grown many nut trees from seed. And I think when we think of, for example, walnuts, we need to see that we select, you know, nuts from a good parent tree, and where the nuts are sweet and have a good size. And walnuts we would simply just put into the garden, and we need to sow them after picking them from the ground. They still need to be fresh, they cannot be dried, and they can just basically be 1 to 2 centimeters under the ground, and that way they will, in spring when they are ready, they will just start to grow. I have also propagated many macadamia nuts, and that's the same, simply to after picking them up from the tree, to put them into the soil. Also this, near the surface, I've got a couple more walnuts here. And that then can be covered with a mulch. And that keeps the weeds away, and in spring the trees should start, once the ground is warm enough, they start to grow. And I mean, with all the growing trees by seed, it is important to select from healthy parent trees. With walnuts, we never really know exactly what we get, because the pollination they get from other trees as well, but in general they stay quite close to the parent tree, in my experience. The same with macadamia nuts. And I have also grown many chestnut trees from seed, which sometimes even have better nuts than the parent trees. And just be aware that in a colder climate you may also need to propagate walnuts, or walnuts in a tunnel house or indoors. And particularly macadamia nuts, they need a certain warmth to grow well. Then I go further on about growing other trees, and we have the seed here of sapote. Sapote, that's a seed that can also be dried, and then whenever, yeah, say early spring, to sow them. And these ones we put in a pot, so we can take them into the tunnel house where they get enough warmth to sprout. Just lightly under the surface. And I have some cherimoya seed here, and we also going to put some cherimoya in, or as other people know it, as custard apple. Also these ones, they can maybe go 2 centimeters into the soil. And further on, I've also grown apple trees from seed, but mainly it was the birds here on our property that have been sowing apples all over the place, and we find that maybe 1 out of 15 would be a good apple, because apples always depend on the pollination. If you really like a particular apple, then grafting is needed. For pears, I have grown many rootstock, like seeds for rootstock, which is an Asian pear of Perus caleriana that grows a very vigorous pear tree, and then I graft onto them later on. And so this is from me today with sowing of seeds. So many bushes and trees, they can be multiplied by layering. And here we have a rhododendron bush, and we would like to make some more plants. And what we're gonna do, if they have lower branches, we're gonna bury the branch into the soil and leave the tips out, and they become the bushes. And we're gonna leave that in for about a year before we maybe dig them out again. And so I'm gonna dig here. And then we see how this would kind of sit in there. And now we're gonna scratch a little bit on the underside of the branch, so that will kind of make it much easier for the branch to make new roots. And then I have made some little wooden pegs that I'm gonna use to tie the branches down into the soil. So this should give us 3 or even more little bushes of rhododendron. And then we fill the soil on top. And then we put some mulch on. And so these branches can start to make roots in the soil.